What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shuggy from Shook Earth Media, and today we are here with the penultimate, the second to last episode of Better Call Saul ever. An amazing episode. I'm gonna be so sad when it's gone, but wow, it's a very satisfying episode. A lot of unexpected things. We got a lot to get into, guys. But if you like Better Call Saul and this type of content, definitely hit the sub button, hit the like button, and I'd love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. And with that, let's jump right into the episode. We start off with a flashback to slightly before Breaking Bad, basically, is where we are right here. And this is the divorce being finalized. So what I assumed happened did end up happening. I assumed that between the time jump that Jimmy and Kim divorced, but we get to see the whole thing play out, and I find it interesting. I had this first still pulled up because he's looking at himself in the mirror because he wants to look good to Kim. Kim is in the other room. She's waiting. He's stalling. He's bouncing a ball around. I think, wants to make her think that he's really busy. He's really important, and he wants to make himself look good. He's trying to impress Kim. And most of the rest of the episode after this deals with Kim, or the first half of the episode, and a lot of surprising things go on. I'm blown away by this episode, and we get yet another very degraded VHS tape intro here, and we get a shot from later in the episode shows up here, and it is Kim waiting outside the airport. So I saw that person there. I was like, oh, that's a little creepy. And then here we cut straight to Kim's life post Breaking Bad. This is the other side of the phone call that we finally get, but before we get that, we get to see her normal life. And we see that the inciting incident for what she decides to do here is the phone call that we already saw, and we get to actually hear what the conversation was. And I was thinking it's so refreshing to see Kim doing normal stuff. She's cooking food. I don't know if they're married or if they're just dating or whatever, but she's got another man. He seems normal. These women from her work are normal people. They're talking about normal stuff. They're talking about the food they're cooking, etc. And it was really refreshing to see like normal people on this show. We never get like normal, regular people. It's very rare. So I really appreciated these party scenes, and we take our time with it, and we get this this funny, amusing sex scene here. And he's just like, yeah, or something. It was really funny. It made me laugh. And then they cut to this reality show that he's watching, and there's like a direct tie-in to what was going on in the previous scene. So there's some really funny comedy here, and you really see Vince Gilligan, who's directing this episode, in these little decisions that he makes. Of like how this chair doesn't turn directly all the way, and he has to stop and start. All of these little details. It's very Vince. We get that dark comedy. We get it up front because there's not a lot of comedy towards the end of the episode. So I was like, wow, it's really nice that Kim got a regular life and that she's well adjusted now. And all of that gets completely blown up by this phone call from her ex-husband. And so we spend some time in her workplace. We see her normal life. We see her talking to her coworkers. So one of them's got a birthday, and we see her in the shop. We see her editing these brochures for the sprinkler company. She's a normal person with a normal job. She's doing something somewhat similar to being a lawyer, and since she's still writing stuff and writing these detailed documents and stuff like that. So it's really important to establish her equilibrium here. And the fact that she has a normal life, and that if she could just continue with this life that she was living, and it would be her happy ending. But it's not good enough for her because she has a guilty conscience over what happened. And that's what the phone call was about. I suspected that the phone call was ended up being Kim threatening Jimmy about calling her, that she was going to be really upset, and that she would have said something along the lines of, if you call me again, I will call the police on you, etc. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. Actually, she was happy to hear from him, although it completely changes her mindset. And they have this conversation about Jimmy turning himself in and how there's guilt from the past. Jimmy makes the point, why don't you turn yourself in if you have such a guilty conscience? And that really gets to her. That's her motivation for the rest of the scene. So in the same way, what Jimmy's doing the previous episode and this episode is a result of this phone call. That's exactly what happens to her in this episode. And yeah, it was refreshing to see a Kim-focused episode. I like the subplot about her secretary or whatever having a birthday, and her significant other, boyfriend, whatever, bought her an exercise bike, and she's a little overweight. So don't do that. Newsflash, guys, don't do that. That's messed up. She said she was going to get him hair growth stuff for his birthday. I think that would be perfect karma. I think that he earned that. So, you know, I like all the finer details here. But seeing her break down, and how she ends the call is saying, I'm happy you're alive. And then she has to pretend to be happy for somebody else. And next thing we know, she's in Albuquerque. And here she goes to see the former Hamlin's... Is she Hamlin as well? Howard's wife here. She steps in the court, and she's in the courtroom. We know, based on later scenes, that she's here to give herself up. She gives her affidavit to the district attorney and pretty much sacrifices her entire life in pursuit of actual justice. And she knows that the only way to seek truth and justice is for her to admit what she did. And I was blown away by this. I was not expecting it. And I think Kim is the only person in the Breaking Bad universe to actually do the right thing. She's the most moral one of all of them. She broke bad and she felt bad. Sorry, excuse the terrible pun. But this scene was really heartbreaking to see. And she reads through the document. She finds out everything. She finds out Howard was murdered. She finds out that they besmirched his reputation, and Kim wants to make it right. And Mrs. I don't know what her name is actually, but Howard's wife, former wife, she says that I could sue you for everything, and Kim accepts it. She says, yes, you can. And it's almost like she wants to invite it in. And then we get a heartbreaking scene of her riding back. I don't know if she got back to Florida or where, but she breaks down crying in this bus. And your boy might have started crying. You can't help but feel for her. And if you can't feel for her, then, you know, I feel bad for you. So it's a really tragic scene. And then we cut to Jimmy and find out what's going on with him. He does the break-in, and everything goes fine. Everything goes according to plan. The guy's asleep. He finds the passwords. He finds all of the investment information. Everything. He finds everything. He has the opportunity to leave. He's about to leave. And his guy, Jeff, is here to pick him up. Everything going perfectly. If he just left right now, everything would be fine. But it's never enough for Jimmy. He's gone really far down this rabbit hole. So far that he was willing to kill a man. He was willing to kill the man with cancer after he wakes up, of course. And he has to take evidence. And this is like damning himself. He's ruining his own plan. He can't help himself anymore. This is the furthest down he's ever gone. He pretty much got out of the game after the Saul thing. He had this new life, this new opportunity, and he completely blows it. And I think it's significant that he takes watches. It represents time. Of course, you know, doing time, as in it's the justice that he deserves. You know, he needs to do time. And it is definitely significant that it's a watch. You know, it's not just a random thing that he takes. But the guy wakes up, and then Jimmy has this urn of this dog, this a dog's ashes. This guy's dog's ashes, and I thought when he picked it up, he was gonna throw it over the edge to distract the guy, and then try to escape that way. But that's not what happens. And and there's also a cop car that pulled in right behind Jeff, making him panic. Jimmy's about to bash this guy over the head. He's about to fucking kill this guy. He's completely gone. He's dead at this moment. He's not Jimmy. He's not Saul. He's something new. He's worse. This is the worst he's ever been. He is basically on the same level, even though he doesn't do it. The fact that he was willing to do it, he's too far gone at this point. And he's basically as bad as Walt or anybody. So I was blown away with how this turned out. And then Jimmy gets out of the house. I like the subplot with the police officers arguing about fish sandwiches. It's a funny comical scene. Again, Vince Gilligan putting his sense of humor in there. He's always got to have the dark humor in there. But Jeff basically panics, and he drives off and crashes himself into another car. So Jimmy gets away after Jeff crashes the car, and then we flash back again to the end of the teaser scene that we got. He's going through the divorce papers, he's signing it, he's talking to Kim, asking her what he's going to do next, but he's not really that interested, or he pretends not to be that interested, at least. And Kim does not have a good answer for why she's going to Florida. She just needs to get away. Or he doesn't even let her answer. So, and also, I just want to point out that Francesca comes in here, and she's bringing in these other papers. It's significant that she moves Lady Justice over here to get the papers here. Significant that she's okay with moving Justice. There's a lot of symbolism in the props here. Everything's very deliberate, as always. So it is worth pointing out these smaller details because they do have meaning, and everything in Breaking Bad has meaning. Well, Better Call Saul as well, of course. So yeah, this scene, I don't know that we necessarily needed it, but it feels like closing a loose end. And then outside of Saul's office, we get an amazing cameo from your boy Jesse. We got another cameo right as Kim was leaving the office. Crazy 8, aka Emilio, was entering the office, and this is prior to Breaking Bad. And I'm assuming this is how Jesse found out about Saul in the first place, other than the commercials. And he talks to Kim, and I just love the way Jesse talks. You know, we haven't lost his specific mannerisms, the way he takes a simple concept and tries to pose it as this big thing. Wow, it's raining. It's so crazy. Kim's having none of it. I feel like she looks at him in a similar way to how Walt looks at him. Like he's just a dumb kid, you know? Jesse is asking her if Saul is any good because Crazy 8 was there. And it turns out that one of the people that Kim represented, the kid who was stealing nativity scene things, I believe we saw it in a previous episode, in a previous season. There's all these little details to dig back into in older seasons, and we might have to do a video about that at some point. But I'm pretty sure we've seen this plot line before. Turns out that person is somebody that we knew. Turns out that person was Combo all along. And I'm loving all these cameos. Everything's interconnecting. It all fits so perfectly. But Kim says that Saul was good when she knew him. So that is a statement on his character, not his abilities as a lawyer. Because I think she still thinks he's a good lawyer, probably. Because, you know, objectively, he's making a living at it. So he's doing it well. But she's making the point that he was good. I think she means spiritually. Not the case anymore. She doesn't know him anymore, and this is her admitting that. And seeing this cameo, I was just like, we could have almost not had the cameo last week because this one was so good. And I love how we were teased with it. where we saw him blurred out in the background and then he walks in. It was so good. So good. Very refreshing scene. And now we're back with Saul, Jimmy, Gene, whatever you want to call him, Victor. He's got a lot of names. And he's waiting for the phone call. And I like there's a small detail where he does the thing where he's trying to force the phone to ring with his hands, but it didn't go off right at that point because things are not going according to his plan anymore. And it is all his fault. 100% his fault. The fact he couldn't resist the temptation. The fact that he even got back into this in the first place. Jeff calls him, and they hatch a plan that he's going to meet Marion, and they're going to bail him out, etc. And then we get the call with Marion, and she is too smart for Jimmy. She's piecing everything together. She knows what happened. She, in this moment, figures it out, and then she goes on the computer to confirm it. And this, again, how did she get this computer? Jeff bought her this computer. How did Jeff buy her this computer? By stealing stuff with Jimmy, because of Jimmy. Again, he sewed all of these things himself. It is 100% his fault, everything, and I just love the symbolism with the computer and everything. And then he shows up and he's basically threatening her. She found Saul Goodman's ads on YouTube, and she knows all she had to do was search on Ask Jeeves. I like that point. This must be towards the tail end of Ask Jeeves being a thing. I don't even think it was Ask Jeeves at this point. I think it was just ask.com. Am I off base? I don't know. Regardless of that, it doesn't even matter. She found out who Saul is. She knows everything. All she had to search was Conman Albuquerque, and he pops up. Totally legit. He should have known the internet was going to get the better of him. Maybe that's why he doesn't have internet connection at home. Maybe that's why last week we had Francesca asking him, don't they have internet where he came from? He's avoided the internet because I think he knows it's his downfall. I think he knows that he can't outrun his past thanks to the internet, and it's a really nice touch. You see it in the bottom right there. The computer screen is in color. That's his old life. His old life is still in color. Such a small touch, but it's genius, dude. I'm freaking out at how good this is. And then he yanks the cord out of the wall. He approaches her, wrapping it around his hands. I thought he was going to kill her. We already saw him basically threatening to kill the guy earlier. He was going to do it if the guy didn't pass out again. He was going to fucking do it, and I think he was going to do it here, but something stops him, and it's the fact that she said that she trusted him. And I think that's when the guilt kicks in. I think otherwise he was going to do it. And yeah, she figured out everything. She figured out it was a con man all along. She figured out there's no nippy. She's got him dead to rights, 100%. And she uses her life alert to call the police and tells them that it's Saul Goodman. And that's the end of the episode. And we get a crazy scene with a crash car. It's in color again. We're back in color. So I don't know when this takes place, but we hear Jimmy saying the make and model of the car, something that he memorized. I don't know. This car looks kind of familiar. I don't know if this is the one in the desert that got shot up or something. I don't know. You guys let me know your theories in the comment section down below. I cannot wait for the final episode. This was absolutely amazing. An amazing ride. An amazing 15 years or whatever it's been of Breaking Bad. It's literally my favorite show ever. I don't know anything's ever going to top it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm blown away. I hope you guys are as well. If you want to continue taking this journey with me, I hope to see you guys next week. And after that, we're going to be reviewing other stuff. So if you guys are into TV shows, definitely keep it locked on Sugar Earth Media. I'm going to be looking at the new Game of Thrones show. I'm going to be looking at Lord of the Rings show that looks like it's going to be a disaster. That might be fun to annihilate. So it might be a good time. And just as a sidebar, I went to Andrew Bird and Iron and Wine tonight. That was really cool. That's why I was a little late with this video, because it's like 2 in the morning right now. And I just got to film this and get it out there for you guys. So that you could take this journey with me. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been amazing with this channel. We're almost at 500 subs, and I'm just blown away that people watch this stuff. So I thank you guys so much for getting to this point in the video, and I hope to talk to you in the comment section. I really enjoy responding to what you guys have to say. So with that, it's been your boy Shuggy, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.